Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. I got a great video planned out for you guys today. A couple different topics that are kind of hot topics that people need to understand. I think it's really important if you're new to silver or if you've just been doing gold and silver for a little while. It's important that you kind of understand what's going on and where we're going. So the great topics that we're going to talk about this morning, we're going to do a little bit of a silver and gold analysis, talk a little bit about where I see it going, what's going on. We're going to do a little bit more investment talk about gold and silver in terms of why I think it's important that people pick up a little bit of silver. You don't have to go crazy and bet your house on it, but a little bit would help out, I believe. It's going to make a big difference, especially if silver goes where I think it's going. And we're going to talk a little bit about how to buy silver. Now, I know some people right now are probably saying, how to buy silver? That's crazy. Everybody knows how to buy silver. And it seems easy, but there's right ways and there's wrong ways to buy silver. And it's important that if you do it the right way, you really have potential to maximize profits. And that's what's important. I know some people say, I'm not worried about profits. I'm only worried about having the security and the well-being during uncertain times. And that's true. But you also want to get as much silver for your hard-earned dollars as you can get. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in. If you guys enjoy the video, please help me out by taking a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment if you have any questions or if you're new to the channel. And do the ultimate thing. Take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button because it's really why I do this. I enjoy helping people and I really want to grow the channel. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in right off the bat. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is as of July 11th, Thursday, July 11th, we have gold trading at $2,380, which is really awesome because it's only $60 away from its all-time high. There's a lot of people out there, though, that think, oh, man, it's already hit the all-time high, you know, and now it's up there. Do I really want to buy? Where silver and gold is going, I think that you have a lot of potential. We're nowhere near the high. They might want to push it to that number and make it sound like it's a high. That way you stay invested in dollars, treasury bonds, stocks, whatever the case may be. However, I think that that could be a mistake. If you're not diversified, you may want to be diversified. Like I said, I'm not saying go and put all your money into gold or silver or anything. However, it's something I would definitely want to have a certain amount of my money into. Looking at silver trading at $31.05 today. Now, some people are going to say $31.05. That's nowhere near an all-time high. I mean, think about that. All-time high was $50.50, and we're that low. We're basically 40% off of its all-time high. But here's the thing. Name me another commodity that's 40% away from its all-time high 10 years, well, technically more, after its all-time high. You can't. There's no other asset out there that's worth less today than it was 10 years ago. Nothing. You know, so a lot of people just don't understand that. And, you know, here's the thing. There's a reason why silver is undervalued, I believe. It's undervalued because big players are trying to get as many ounces as they can. So they want to get the price as cheap as they can. They're willing to use paper contracts to bring the price down and then end up buying it up the physical. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of paper contracts out there. When they put the paper contracts out to agree to sell a certain amount of silver, large amounts of silver, that drives the price of silver lower. However, they don't have to give delivery for, what, 3 months in some cases? When that happens, people think, oh, there's going to be a ton of silver coming on the market, and so they start driving the price down lower. And that gives them the opportunity to buy up ounces. And then all they got to do is just settle out or work out deals in cash or just all of a sudden not sell. I mean, if a company all of a sudden can't sell it, they ain't got it. They ain't got it. I mean, if I tell you I'm expecting to pull 1 billion ounces out of my mine in my backyard, you might believe me because I'm a reputable company. However, it's possible that I could come up light. And I do believe there's a lot of players out there that are really maybe giving false numbers. They can always revise it later. You take a look at a lot of the U.S. government numbers, and we're seeing a lot of revisions literally revision month after month after month. So it's not just in silver, it's in a lot of things. However, I think that they have incentive to drive the price down so they can acquire as much as they can. And the reason they want to acquire is not just because, oh, we want sound money. It's also because they understand the industrial demand of silver. It's big in solar energy, it's big in energy efficient vehicles, electronic vehicles, and it's big in everything from your cell phones to anything digital and Tomahawk missiles, and the list just goes on and on. So they understand what's going on. And it's not just the US government that understands, it's also other countries that understand because they use a lot of silver too, whether it be brand new 6th generation jets or whatever the case may be. So it's important that you understand what's going on. And it's even more important that you understand how to buy silver. Because buying, a lot of people that are newer to silver or even have been stacking for a while, they may be missing the idea of trying to acquire as many ounces as they can. It's easy to want to stack what we like. I'll be honest, I've got a few things that I stack because I like them and I might overpay. I could definitely go out and buy Buffalo rounds at the cheapest probably possible price. But the truth of the matter is, people are sick of Buffalo rounds. There's got to be probably 20 different Buffalo rounds that come out from the biggest, basically, mints around the world now, and people are tired of them. They want to stack something fresh. However, there's also these fancy things that essentially are high-end collectibles like the Star Wars, the Avengers, the, you know, all these different superhero stuff that they're paying big money for licensing, and you're buying more of a collectible. And we've seen what happens to a lot of collectibles, whether it be vinyl records, Avon bottles, baseball cards, Beanie Babies, stamps. Will you find something that does really well? Well, yeah, in every kind of collectible, there might be something out there that really took off. I mean, you take basketball cards. You know what? Michael Jordan rookie. I got a friend of mine, he tells me, I wish I'd put all my money in Michael Jordan rookies because the 6 of them that I got that are all perfect condition and graded are worth a fortune. But here's the truth of the matter. How many junk players, and I probably shouldn't say junk players, but how many other players, sports cards, did not make it into the Michael Jordan price range? There's a lot more. In fact, Michael Jordan's cards stand out head over shoulders above everything. You know, but people don't understand. They see silver and they hear it and they want to get into it. So this was actually, I've talked about this before. This was actually one that my mom had. It's just a 4-ounce bar. It's not really anything super special. She heard me talking about silver at one point and thought it was super awesome and wanted to get some because she knew what could happen. And so she started buying this. Now, the sad thing is when she bought this, silver's spot price was only $17. But yet for 4 ounces, she paid $200 and something for this. It's an insane amount. So that's $50 an ounce. Now, here's the thing. They'll end up telling you that, and they'll give you little pieces of the information of the pie. Oh, silver's going to go to $100, and this, you know, something like this is going to be worth $400. That's not really a lie. I believe silver will go over $100, and 4 ounces of it will be worth over $400. However, at the time of purchasing this, she could have ended up getting, I don't know, 10 ounces of something else for the same amount of money. And so it really bugs me when I see people get taken advantage of like that, you know, especially elderly. And, you know, they don't understand that, and a lot of people don't. I won't just say elderly, but a lot of people don't understand. When you buy silver, you want to try to gain as much ounces as you can. The biggest reason why people buy silver, if you're stacking silver, is because you understand that silver is going to go up in value. Well, here's the thing. How long is it going to take for this to get its money back? You know, you're talking $60 an ounce, roughly. We'll say $2.40 for easy math. I don't know, it was 2 something. But we'll say $60 an ounce. How long is she going to wait to get, well, she won't be around because she's already passed away, unfortunately. However, how long is it going to be before this regains its value? You know, when really even today, I mean, you'll see a lot of different coins come out. This happens to be the legendary warrior set. This is the Geronimo. This is a set that I really like. They're now on their 7th coin. And here's the thing, as the coins come out, they'll be worth more, I believe, because people will try to get into the set later after a lot of them have all been pushed out, and then it will be harder and harder to find the different ones. So you want to be careful how you do buy your silver, because you want to get as much money for your silver later. Eventually, unfortunately, I know a lot of people may disagree with this. At some point, you will trade or sell your silver. And it's easy for people to say that, you know, well, if spot price is $31 and the premiums are $10, let's say, hypothetically, we're going to get into prices in just a minute here. But it's easy for someone to come out and say, is it really going to matter $41? I mean, even what we just talked about, even the 60 bucks an ounce, is it going to beat that? Yeah, it will. But you want to get as much silver today as you can for as few dollars as you can. Why? Because it's going to get harder and harder to sell, to buy silver. And because the price is going to keep going up. And anybody that doubts that the price is going to keep going up only has to look at history. We've seen it continually climb. And it's going to keep climbing. And we're going to see a big, big jump at some point in the near future, I believe. We're going to see silver maybe even shoot. I hate to give numbers because some people are like, they wait for that number. And they're like, if the number doesn't come this month, they get upset or they'll laugh at the number. But, you know, silver jumping to $100 and then having a pullback to 60 is not an unreasonable prediction. I think that is a very probable prediction, and there will be people that will say, oh, what a loser. Silver went from 100 to 60. It can't be that good of an investment. Here's the thing, though. Look at how long it's been beat down in price and unappreciated. And soon the price is going to jump. And when it does, you want to have as many ounces as you can. Now, I'm not saying get greedy and make your life revolve around silver. I mean, do I price things in silver? Absolutely. If I make a mistake, I end up basically looking at it as, man, I just basically threw away 3 ounces of silver. I bought that. I just wasted an ounce of silver. Did I really need it? You know, I do that because I understand the more ounces you have now is going to be a better quality of life. What you're looking at is a form of savings. It's almost like in some people controlling their own Social Security. You know, maybe you have a job and you put, I don't know, a couple $100 a month in a week payday in Social Security. By putting a couple $100 a month into this, you're building up a savings that's actually growing in value. And it's going to continue to grow in value. Now, this ain't financial advice. It's just my opinion. If I could give financial advice on the channel, the #1 piece of financial advice that I would give you would be start stacking some silver. If you don't have any, start getting some. I think it's important that you have a certain amount. There's a reason why banks don't want people investing in silver or gold, because they want you in the system. They want you propping up that bridge, propping up the dollar, because the more you prop it up, essentially the stronger it is for them to print more of them and use them frivolously and wastefully. And yes, I do believe that governments wastefully spend our tax dollars. It's almost like they can just keep printing and printing and printing, and there'll be no repercussions. However, those of us that have been following the channel for a while, those ones that have been stacking or in the community for a while, understand that there will be repercussions for what we are doing when it comes to printing. And a lot of people think that, oh, there's endless supplies of silver. There's so much more in the ground. Is there more in the ground? Yes, but it's getting harder and harder to get it out of the ground because the percentage of the ore is getting less and less. What do you think? When they went in there and they pulled out the ore, they're pulling out the good stuff. The outer bands, you know, they go slow on that. Why do they go slow on that? Because it's more work to get it, and they understand that. It's cost them more money. And they won't be able to mine some of that until the price goes up. You know, I always get a kick when I hear the whole asteroid. We're going to go to space and we're going to mine asteroids and we're going to bring all that gold and silver back to the U.S. You know, here's the thing. They ain't going to do it on $31. It doesn't. It's not possible. The amount of money that goes into going to space is not going to cover $31 an ounce. So I get that out of your head. If anybody's about ready to comment that, no, right off, that is not going to happen. That is a pipe dream. So, you know, I think it's important, though, that you start acquiring ounces. It doesn't matter your age. And it doesn't matter if you say, I don't have the money to be stacking right now. Bills are getting more expensive. It's getting harder and harder for everybody to be able to afford anything. With food prices up, gas prices up, everything is going up. But something like this can be picked up as little as $2.25. Are they fancy? No. Are they silver? Absolutely. People recognize them. It takes 14 of these to equal an ounce of silver. So think about that. 14 of these, one of these. And, you know, the premiums, you want your premiums as cheap as possible when you go to buy silver. Why? Obviously, the higher premium you pay, the more expensive it's going to cost you. The premium is the difference. If you take the price they're offering it to you for, we'll say $35 for a minute. Say someone is selling you an ounce of silver for $35. You subtract the spot price, which is currently trading at $31.05. We're going to say $31 for easy math. But that leaves a $4 difference. That means the premium is $4. That's more than 10%. You want to keep your premiums as low as possible. Now, watch out, because people will try to sell you fractional silver. That way they can kind of jack up. I had someone buy off me a 0.4 silver coin. It was 0.4 ounces. So 40% of an ounce. I picked it up. I liked it. I got a good deal on it. And then someone said, "Oh, dude, I'll give you 20 bucks for it. You can have 20 bucks credit, or I'll just give you a 20. I said, I'll take 20 in-store credit. I'm going to buy it anyway. I go when I get my granola bars in the morning, maybe my water in the morning, and it was worth it to me. However, that comes out when you think about it for a minute. 40% of an ounce at $20. So to take it up to 80% would be $40. And that extra 20%, that extra 10%, that would be another $10. I'm sorry, another let's see, 20%. Yeah, half of that. So you'd be looking at 20, 20, and 10. So you're looking at 50 bucks an ounce, essentially. It made sense for me to get rid of it because I don't want that. I want my ounces as cheap as I can get. It's something I've been talking to my son about lately, but he is stuck on American Silver Eagles. He loves American Silver Eagles. Whenever I get him, he's like, "Oh, dude, hook me up, man. Come on." He's not as much of a fan of the inexpensive stuff. I'll show you one right here that I offered up the other day. This one. He looked at this and he said, I can give you a deal on some of these if you want. I'll give them to you for what I paid. I actually picked these up for $29. And he didn't really like them. He's like, "I don't want that. It's an NRA round. I already got some. I don't even like them." And I understand, but you want your silver as cheap as you can get it. And at the time, silver was $29.50 when I had them, or maybe 30, might have been 30. But needless to say, it was pretty well spot price or under spot price. But he wants the Eagles. Everybody likes the Eagles, but the premiums on the Eagles are high too right now. And they have been a lot higher. And some people are convinced that you're going to get your money back all the time. And to a certain point, I believe you will on certain stuff. A cheap premium that you paid maybe $1 or $2 and you kept the coin in good shape. I always have people comment on the plastics. Why plastic? Why plastic? This is the stuff that I use for trading from day to day. I use it to trade with friends. I use it to trade at trade shows. And I'll sometimes always carry something on me. If I've got something in my pocket and I'm fidgeting with it, I don't want to ruin the coin. Now, will it ruin the silver? Absolutely not. But it will ruin the premium. The better the premium. Now, that don't mean go out and buy plastics. I want to make sure people understand that. Don't go buy plastics for $1 a plastic and put your coin in. Otherwise, you just added $1 expense. You want your silver as close to spot. Even if you just keep it in something like this. Boom. These, as long as I don't touch them with my bare hands, are pretty cool. These are the Statue of Liberty ones. I'm probably not going to be able to get that out without touching. There we go. Nope. So these are the Statue of Liberty coins. They're just rounds, but here's the thing. In here, I don't have much overhead into them. They just sit in there, and I'll have them in there until I trade them out. But I'll have to put them in some kind of plastic because I don't want people touching them. So with that being said, I hope that gave you some ideas on how to buy your silver. You want to get it as close to spot as possible, a little bit on silver, and a little bit of an analysis on silver. If you enjoyed the video and you made it this far, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment. If you're not subscribed yet, do the ultimate thing, hit that subscribe button, make me smile. I'd love to see a bunch of new subscribers. And thank you all for watching. Keep stacking, my friends, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I try to do videos every day. So I will talk to you a little later. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.